Anything else? All right, we'll move into presentations from the gallery on specific bills or resolution. First person signed up is Audrey Smolin on the noise ordinance 2012-76. Audrey. If you would state your name and address, and you have 5 minutes. Thank you.
My name is Audrey Smolin. My address 2006 Meadow Lane, Jefferson City. I don't have very much to say that you haven't heard before. The revised noise ordinance that you all have in front of you has changed, as I understand it, that the measurement for decibel readings is taken at 50 feet away now and can be 80. And I just want to impress upon you that that means that it's actually making a higher limit, because now instead of it being limited to 85 feet away, it's limited to 80 at 50 feet away, which means closer to the source it's about 100 decibels. And so it's making it a lot louder than it was before, which is, even at that point, it's higher than any other town's ordinances that I have come across yet. And the only other thing I'll say is that this will not get rid of lawsuits. A private party can bring a private nuisance action. So if you want to increase the chance of private nuisance actions, go ahead and pass this ordinance, because it's going to make it a lot noisier in places, or it will be allowed to be noisier in places anyway. And there will be complaints if another bar wants an outdoor concert in another area that's very close to residences, and there are a lot of those, as you know, in Jefferson City. And that's all that I have to say. Just bear that in mind. I don't think it's a wise decision to pass this ordinance.
Okay, thank you. Councilman Bray has a question.
What is your name again, please?
Audrey.
Audrey?
Mm-hmm.
A couple of meetings ago, I made during one of these, while we were on this subject, I made the comment that, to my knowledge, we had not heard from anyone that owns property on Ash Street. And then at the last meeting, you made a point of correcting me.
Mm-hmm.
Who owns property on Ash Street there?
Mr. Brownstein.
What property does he own?
He could tell you that more accurately than I could, and he is speaking after I am, so if you want to ask him.
Well, you're the one that made the comment. You're the one that corrected me.
I said he and his family.
Yes,
they own three buildings.
You said Michael Brownstein and his family.
Yeah. 3 buildings on the...
I don't care if he lives there or not, but just in the interest of accuracy and
Mm-hmm.
exchanging information accurately back and forth with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I was curious about that, so I went to the county assessor's office, and they do not list Michael Brownstein as an owner of 314 Ash or 316 Ash or 320 Ash or
Well,
322 Ash.
You'll have to ask him about that, because I think that would come as a surprise to him.
You might need to have a conversation with him, too. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions? The next signed up is Michael Brownstein regarding 2012-76.
Michael Brownstein, 320 Ash. The sound ordinance issue is not only an issue for me because of the loud music from the patio of prison brews. I'm sorry. The sound ordinance issue is only an issue for me because of the loud music from the patio of prison brews. I wanted it to be much softer. My neighbors wanted it to be much softer. This is all we wanted. This is why they gave me letters to put into the official record, why they asked me to speak on their behalf. Not everyone could come to the meeting. Some work, some are in school. I'll be honest, some are afraid to talk in front of public people. I do this because I am focused on my neighbors, including the individuals who are sick literally from the music, and in memory of the one who told me the music was killing him, and then one loud night died perhaps because of it. Okay, some of the details in the new ordinance we wanted are now in the ordinance, and others we were satisfied to compromise over. Recently, I gave the city clerk an email log to pass out to the council. 80 is still too loud. This is where we meet our first impasse. Mr. Hilbert says it's not about prison brews, but this is hard to believe. Here we come to our second impasse. The reasoning for why we are told we cannot lower it to 75 is because businesses are over 75. And in all the meetings I've been to, I can remember 2 businesses being over 75. An industrial place, and they can get a variance, and prison brews, which will not be able to get one because of music. A few days ago, there was a benefit outside on the street of Prison Brews for the Big Brothers and Big Sisters program. When I listened to the singer on the porch of 314 Ash, which is right in front of the singer, he sounded really good. It was nice. Good voice, everything quality. But when I was in the house at 320 Ash, or working on the first floor of 316 Ash, because the level of sound was so great and the obstacles made it bounce from place to place, I thought the singer was a sick cow or an injured dog, and I actually thought I should go outside and see if the dog's hurt. It was that irritating. Here's how we, my neighbors and I, feel. If the level remains at 80 and music comes onto the patio and it disturbs any of them, and if any one of them contacts me or I myself feel agitated or disturbed by it, we will not sue the city. We don't have to. As Mr. Hilbert states in item number 5 in an email log I gave to everybody, I wrote the biggest problem is still disturbing the peace item because anyone can ask for a citation if they feel their peace is disturbed. This is an issue that has been worked on. Ultimately, this ordinance may find itself in court. Not a lawsuit against the city, but a civil suit against the venue and even the band playing at the venue. And here's his answer to me, which you got a copy of. I think this would take noise out of disturbing the peace, but yes, that is still in play. Certainly a business could still be a private nuisance without being a public nuisance. All right, there were a lot of ifs in my last statement. You cannot legislate a nuisance and make it legal. Furthermore, any band on the patio could also receive a letter stating clearly that if they perform again at the same degree of loudness or louder, we can sue them too. Beta Youth has already received letter number 1. There were a lot of ifs in that last statement. If Prison Brews can be a responsible establishment, responsible like Mission was, on the corner, then we would not be having this dialogue, but we do not believe they can be. As Ms. Mullins said, it's going to be 80, 50 feet away. As I read, it's 5 to 50 feet away, but it's still going to be incredibly loud. So as one of my colleagues told somebody in front of me, one of you, Mr. Brownson is very focused. All he wants is a noise to stop in the patio of Prison Brews. This gentleman told me if that noise was happening in my neighborhood, I would be raising hell. And then he told one of you, who I'll leave unnamed, if it was happening on your block, you'd be raising hell. The same individual told me privately that when he went to one of the places with the had outdoor music, it was so loud he left. He patronized a restaurant in town where there was music inside, it was so loud he left. All right. I live across the street from this noise. It's noise. It may be music sometimes, but it's noise by the time it gets to me. The worst part is the bass. The bass instrument causes much vibrations, and there's no way we can measure vibrations because according to what I understand, and what the city told me in an email dialogue, the instrument to study vibrations is too costly for the city to buy to do this. This will not be a problem at 75. Our windows will not rattle when the bass is at 75. At 80, it will rattle. It will be an issue for us. Also, in the News Tribune, Mr. Hilbert was quoted as saying the police are still not thrilled about being involved in neighbor disputes. Keep it at 80, and we do have a dispute. As the city attorney himself writes, the right to correct a wrong through the courts, there's a right, we have the right to correct a wrong through the courts, and we will use that right against the business that feels it has the right to create a nuisance. Noise nuisance in my or any neighborhood. It's not about money or jobs, it's about quality of life. That's what I have to say. Thank you.
Any questions, Mr. Bernstein?
Michael, I'll give you a chance to clarify that,
Okay.
the residency.
Stephen, my son, Corey Brownstein, owns 2 of the buildings. I live in 320 Ash. Deborah Williams is my wife. She lives in she's in Texas right now. But that's her house.
Okay.
I'm being her husband. In Missouri, because I'm her husband, I have the house. But she's legally a resident of Texas at the present moment.
I see. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any other questions?
Any other questions? Okay, next on the presentation from the gallery, we have Shelley Kleba with the Convention and Visitors Bureau. Shelley, welcome.
Hello, like you said, my name is Shelley Kleba, and I'm the interim director at the Jefferson City Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I'm here tonight just to support. I worked very closely with Councilman Mihalovich and Mr. Hilbert on putting together some performance measurements in our city contract. And we are embracing this, and it's my understanding we are kind of the guinea pig on all the contracts. So I'm here just to support the measures, and I don't know if there's anything else that you want to add at this time.
Any questions of Shelley? Councilman Mihalovich?
Yeah, Shelley, sorry to have you wait to this long just to provide some support on this
That's okay.
measure. I do want to congratulate you and your staff for embracing these measures, not as a compliance, but additionally as a management tool, as I understand that you wish to proceed in. I don't mean to get the cart too much before the horse, but I do appreciate the support of the members on the administration committee who all voted in favor of this. And then in future, I hope that the council will look favorably on future contracts as it pertains to these measurements and accountability. So I do appreciate your time, and you're sticking around
problem.
with us. I know you have a young family.
It's okay.
Watch out for the deer on your way back to the land.
I know. But yes, we are in favor. We're embracing it, and it's something that we're going to be able to use in-house as well. So.
Any other questions? Councilman Liebert?
I'd just like to comment and let the public know that Shelley invited the councilman in one at a time, I guess, and discuss the finances and their anticipated revenue and their activities with us all. And so she's really been very forthcoming with quite a bit of information for us, so much appreciated.
Thank you. We try to be open if there's anything we can help you with.
Okay,
Any other questions for me? Okay.
Thank you, Shelley.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have items on the consent agenda. Is there any items on the consent agenda that anybody has any questions, or you want to pull any out one at a time? Otherwise, we would I'd welcome a motion to approve the consent agenda as item A through F.
So moved.
Second.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? We have no bids over $50,000. Bills introduced, 2012-94. Sorry.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with the Cole County Collector for property tax collection services.
Mr. Hilbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. This came forward from the county collector made a request to increase the amount that we pay him for collection services from 1% of what he collects to 1.5%. The request essentially, this would replace a contract from 2001 that set that figure. Mr. Vincent had come forward and talk and discussed that he puts in considerably more amount of time than the collector did in the previous years, primarily because of our collection of our taxes for tax abatements that we've done, as well as TIFs and the like. The Finance Committee agreed to this change, and I guess that's it.
No questions. 2012-95.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with the Jefferson City Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Drew?
Thank you again. This is the agreement with the CVB. It was set to expire sometime in the middle of next year, I believe. Steve Picker, when he was here, had approached us about making a few modifications, and then Shelley took over. Well, she left. She took over, and we further did those discussions. Some of the simple things to be changed were we went to quarterly financial reports. There'll be an evergreen provision where this will just continue to renew each year. And then the primary change is what Councilman Mihalovich talked about, and Shelley, that there's some performance measurements here. And the value in that is it gives the council clear areas where they can evaluate the success or failure of the CVB and what they're doing for us. Those included number of tourist MSP, number of leads for the community events, which are likely to pull people from outside Cole County, number of leads of events that were eventually held in Cole County, time spent on programs and events promoted, produced, and supported by the contractor, online activity of their website and interaction with the media. Those were drawn from, I think it was the International Convention and Visitors Bureau handbook or whatever it was called, but it was national measurements, and those we tweaked them a little bit, of course, with the MSP, but felt like these are pretty good tools to measure the CVB by.
Any questions? 2012-96.
An ordinance amending the 2012-2013 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by reclassifying a position within the Planning and Protective Services Department.
Gail.
Thank you. One of the things we always do when we have vacancies in positions is we take a look at those positions while they're vacant to look and see if there are efficiencies that we can create, tasks that can be streamlined, those types of things. This position in the Planning and Protective Services is the redevelopment and grants position that recently vacated. In looking at this, we would like to actually grade this position from a current pay range of 20 to a 19 and retitle the position Neighborhood Services Coordinator, which will allow a little bit more flexibility with the position and help the Planning and Protective Services Department.
Any questions? Councilman Holovich.
There was some concern during the administration meeting on this, about it from the city administrator about us having to pass this and delaying decisions down the road. So I'm just going to open it up for discussion whether or not we ought to suspend rules on this. And Councilman Carroll, do you have a comment on that?
Sure. Just to keep it moving with the position so we can get that filled sooner, I would move to suspend the rules.
Okay, there's a motion.
Second that.
Motion to suspend the rules. Don't need a motion. Okay. Any opposed to suspending the rules? Okay. So final reading on 2012-96, third reading.
An ordinance amending the 2012-2013 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by reclassifying a position within the Planning and Protective Services Department.
Any discussion? Roll call. Councilman Scrivener.
Is the report chain, the person that they're reporting to, changing, or is it the position still reporting to the same person, and who might that be?
Right, that's not changing. To my knowledge, it's reporting to Janice McMillan, to the
Okay.
director.
Okay, thank you.
Councilman Schulte.
Who will be who will be in charge of grants? And if this title changes or if this position changes, who at that point will be in charge of grants and that overall process?
Well, it kind of depends on what part of it, which grants that you're talking about, obviously. But the grants that would fall under this position, ultimately Janice would be responsible for those grants because they fall within her department, but she would be having, this position would still be handling the same grants that the position handled previously.
Mr. Nicholas.
Yes, what Ms. Stroop said is entirely correct, and we've kind of divvied up. We'd hope to kind of centralize the grant system, but it's just not really possible with what we've got. So we've kind of divvied it up, and different departments will still be in charge of particularly the soliciting of grants. But the finance department will take an increasing role in the supervision of the grants in terms of their operation and the finance and the reporting of them. That's really where our weakness has been. But this will still be the primary person in terms of grant writing for any department. So if police will have a person who kind of works on their grants, but also if they needed some help on some grant writing, this is where they would go.
Councilman Scruder.
It's my understanding that that we discovered, I'm not sure exactly how, I'm not sure who, but that we discovered that there were some deficiencies, I guess I'll use that word, in accounting for some of the grants in the past. And is that been addressed? Will it be addressed with this change? Is that being addressed in a different way, or how are we handling that?
Sure. Our audit report has reflected in some of the comments that they had some issues with our grant reporting, and some of the agencies we work with have voiced some concerns about some of our reporting. I think that you will see on the next audit report that those issues, while maybe perhaps not completely eliminated, have been substantially improved. We certainly have been working with a number of state and federal agencies to improve our reporting. It is a very difficult and very complex task, and we are spending a lot of resources on it. I wish I could say that I could wave a magic wand and make that problem go away. I can't, but we are diligently working on it, and you should expect to see improvement, and you should be dissatisfied if you do not see improvement.
Anything else? 2012-97. Oh, I'm sorry. Need to go ahead and do a roll call vote on 2012-96.
Bray,
Aye.
Carroll,
Aye.
Henry,
Aye.
Lubert,
Aye.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Pope,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schulte,
Aye.
Scrivener,
Aye.
Weber.
Aye. Okay, we'll move on to 2012-97. Roger Swartz.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri declaring certain property surplus and authorizing the disposal of said property.
Now, Roger, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. We, some time ago, had ordered 3 new handy wheel buses, and we've been in contact with that company, and they're expected to be delivered here in the next couple of weeks. So what this does is declare those 3 old buses as surplus and allows us to put them up for sale when the new ones arrive.
Any questions? Okay. 2012-98.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement for cemetery maintenance with Lamberson's Lawn Care.
Janice McMillan.
Thank you. This authorizes a contract with Lamberson's Lawn Care for cemetery maintenance at all 3 city cemeteries, Woodland, Old City, and Longview cemeteries.
Okay. Any questions? Councilman Scrivener.
When you speak of maintenance, is that, as the name implies, just lawn care, or is it maintenance in terms of maintaining headstones and other?
They do not maintain headstones per se, but they do take care of the mowing, trimming and caring for shrubbery, keep the cemeteries free of litter. Prior to the major holidays, they go in and make sure the cemetery is aesthetically pleasing. They mow it and trim it and pick up any litter. They do provide maintenance of any hard structure that we might ask them to, as long as we provide the materials to do so.
Any other questions? Okay. 2012-99.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a state block grant agreement with the Missouri Highways and Transportation Commission.
Roger Swartz.
Thank you. This is an agreement with MoDOT that would accept a grant from them that totals $228,983. This is for the design of airport improvements that include resurfacing the runway, as well as all new lighting at the airport along the runways. And this is to pay the design portion of it. This grant pays 95% of the cost of that design, and the city would have to pay 5%, and the city's portion is $12,052, and that would come out of the city's sales tax for the airport for that portion.
Any questions? 2012-100.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri amending the 2012-2013 budget of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by appropriating funds within the Animal Shelter Reserve account.
Chief Schrader.
Thank you. This bill authorizes a supplemental appropriation from the Animal Shelter Reserve account in the amount of $60,000 to fund various building items related to the new animal shelter. The newly constructed animal shelter has been operational for about 6 months now, and as one might expect, several items are needed to complete and enhance the project. Some of those things include, as was previously addressed, a change order to the design contract with Architects Alliance, certain kennel modifications, flooring modifications, power assisted front door for persons with mobility issues, a smoke alarm system, storage, shelving, and closets, and then other miscellaneous items. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions? 2012-101.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a contract with Goodwin Brothers Construction to construct the Cole Junction Pump Station upgrade.
Roger Swartz.
Thank you. You heard earlier about the sale of $15 million in bonds for our sewer department. Now here we come with the first bid for the actual construction of the Cole Junction pump station. And the low bid was submitted by Goodwin Brothers out of Crystal City, Missouri at $6,489,000. That was the lowest of 6 bidders and the one that we would recommend. It is under budget, so we're very pleased with that.
Any questions? Okay, 2012-102. Roger, I'm sorry, read it.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a contract with Rosetta Construction LLC to construct the Cole Junction force main.
Now Roger Swartz again.
And this is the other half of that same project. We bid them separately. The first one is for the construction of the pump station itself. This contract actually puts a new sewer line under the Missouri River in that Cole Junction area, and then will run down along the river to our sewer treatment plant on the north side. This bid from Rosetta out of Springfield, Missouri was the lowest of 5 bidders, and the price is $4,992,580. When you total these two together, the total price is $11.48 million, and that's $2 million under what our estimate was for these two projects. So we're extremely pleased, and we got 2 very good contractors that are very experienced in doing this work, and we're certainly looking forward to this because now it'll be our plans to come to the next Public Works and Planning meeting with a new list of projects to do additional work on for sewer improvements, because these projects came in under budget, and we will have the money to do it.
Okay, great. Any questions? Okay. 2012-103.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a promissory note with the Fireman's Pension Fund acting by and through its Board of Trustees.
Mr. Hilbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. When the firefighters went from their firefighters' pension into loggers, as you all, those of you here remember, it was a cash contribution from the city. Part of that, there was a payment of about $370,000 made to the loggers portion, which was not authorized by the Fireman's Pension Board. The Fireman's Pension Board is set up very similar with the exact same language as the Parks Commission. No money can be spent from that Fireman's Fund without permission of the Fireman's Pension Board, and those folks are fiduciaries, so they're responsible for that money. They felt that money was paid without their permission, although for the benefit of firefighters, still it wasn't with their permission. So an agreement was reached, at least on the staff level, and was run through finance, that payment would be repaid to the firefighters' pension over 5 equal payments. The agreement is 6 years, but it doesn't count this fiscal year you're in this year. So your next budget, you'll have this additional expense at $60,000 a year. And this will make the fireman's pension whole. It's always probably worth reminding you that if there's not enough money at the end, the fireman's pension, when the last retiree is there, the city will have to pay that in any event. So we are repaying ourselves, but it is the proper thing to do, and it is part of the fiduciary responsibility of the board to make sure their retirees get the benefits that, or utilize the money that are for their benefits.
Councilman Scrivener.
At some point, this is the closed fund, right?
Yes.
Okay, so at some point in time, all the firemen that are receiving benefits from that and their dependents that are receiving benefits from that will no longer be receiving benefits because they will have passed.
That's correct.
And if there is money remaining in that pension fund, what happens to that money?
The trustees would need to determine what to do with the money, but they can only be used for retirement benefits, so I have every belief they would give it to the city for that, but I can't speak on their behalf. The answer is they'll have to utilize it for some purpose related to their charge.
Okay, so in effect, we could possibly pay it back and then at some point in time
Yes.
get it back.
There's three possibilities. One is there's not enough money at the end, in which case the council at that time will have to cough up some money. Or there's just the exact amount, which seems unlikely, but you'll be done. Or there's too much, in which case the pension will probably just pay it back to the city.
Okay, thanks.
Any other questions? Okay. 2012-104.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute a contract with Burns and McDonnell Engineering Company, Incorporated, for design work at the Jefferson City Memorial Airport.
Roger Swartz.
Thank you again. This is the counterpart to Bill 1299, and this is the actual contract with Burns and McDonald, who is our consultant for the airport, to do the actual design work for the airport improvements that I talked about earlier.
Okay, any questions? I'll ask the council, would you be in favor of taking about a 3 to 5 minute break, or do we want to move on? We've been at it a couple hours. Anybody want to, you already took yours, didn't you, Bob? Break or move forward? Okay. All right, we'll move on to bills pending. Third reading of 2012-83.
An ordinance amending the code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri pertaining to the utility cap exemption.
Mr. Hilbert.
Thank you, Mr. President. This would limit the utility cap exemption to those who already have obtained the exemption.
Any questions? Roll call.
Carroll.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Lubert.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Pope.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schulte.
Aye.
Scrivener.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Bray.
Aye.
Motion passes. 2012-85.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri declaring certain property to be surplus and authorizing the disposal of said property.
Jason, handle that one?
Thank you, sir. This is an ordinance that will allow us to declare our existing air packs as surplus and allow us to trade them in with the new ones that we'll take delivery of, hopefully within the next 90 days.
Okay. Any questions? Roll call vote.
Henry.
Aye.
Lubert.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Pope.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schulte.
Aye.
Scrivener.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Bray.
Aye.
Carroll.
Aye.
Motion passes. 2012-86.
An ordinance of the City of Jefferson, Missouri authorizing the mayor and city clerk to execute an agreement with USIC Locating Service Incorporated for wastewater utility locating services.
Roger Swartz.
Thank you. We did take bids for utility locates for our wastewater department, and USIC was the low bidder. They've got the contract today, and this is a 3-year contract, and the price for the first year is $32,500. The funding for this comes out of our wastewater funds, so we would recommend approval.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Lubert.
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Pope.
Aye.
Prather.
Aye.
Schulte. Scrivener.
Aye.
Weber.
Aye.
Bray.
Aye.
Carroll.
Aye.
Henry.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. 2012-88.
An ordinance amending the code of the City of Jefferson, Missouri by establishing taxi cab loading zones on Monroe Street and Commercial Way.
Mr. Swartz.
Thank you. This is to put in code a practice that already exists. The spot on Commercial Way is next to our parking garage, and and the one on Monroe Street is across from the courthouse. Both of these are loading zones today, and the taxi cab company would use those as a staging area in the evening, waiting on response calls in the downtown.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Mahalovich,
Aye.
Pope,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schulte,
Aye.
Scrivener,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Bray,
Aye.
Carroll,
Aye.
Henry,
Aye.
Lubert.
Aye.
Motion passes. 2012-90.
An ordinance authorizing the issuance of not to exceed $15 million principal amount of sewerage system revenue bonds, State of Missouri Direct Loan Program, Series 2012 of the City of Jefferson, Missouri for the purpose of extending and improving the city's sewerage system, prescribing the form and details of the bonds and the agreements made by the city to facilitate and protect their payment and prescribing other related matters.
Mr. Schwartz.
Thank you again. This is the bill that Jack Dillingham spoke of earlier to approve us obtaining $15 million for our sewer improvements. We just had the bids on 2 projects earlier. The other project we were planning to do with this funding is sewer improvements that would extend to a new area south of Route B and east of Highway 54 on the south side of Jefferson City. But now that we're under budget on the first 2, we'll be able to add additional projects with this funding.
Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Pope,
Aye.
Prather,
Aye.
Schulte,
Aye.
Scrivener,
Aye.
Weber,
Aye.
Bray,
Aye.
Carroll,
Aye.
Henry,
Aye.
Lubert,
Aye.
Mahalovich.
Aye.
Motion passes.